Welcome. This is Carcino. And I bring you Carcino's for live chat. What's going on? I see you. Oh, notifications are starting to go out a little bit. Okay. Well, we can get into this a little earlier then. NY Giants Pride 365. Will the Giants beat the Cowboys this year at least? Can you do that for me, please? Now, massive deals were done today, buddy. Massive. There were massive deals done today. First massive deal that was done. It's not unusual. They were already in negotiation. Well, Fox didn't even want to buy them back, to be honest. They were not going to get the UFC back and didn't care if they got them back. I'm only being honest with you guys. They really didn't care. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is right now. They didn't want them back. Now, ESPN decided that it would be a advantageous position for them to go ahead and acquire the ESPN brand and and go from there. The UFC brand. Now they won the pay-per-view viewership. ESPN did when it was done up front. What did you say? ESPN buying LeBron's contract. I know it's very unusual. People get notifications no more. Well, we should have like 500 people on live. We can't even get 500 people anymore. They blocked us so badly that we only get minimal people going out now. Now, ESPN has bought the rights to the pay-per-view distribution to ESPN by ESPN. ESPN did it, rather. Fox had all these rights before that when they replayed, they would be on Fox. Okay, Fox played what 120 million over 5 years for the rights to UFC's distribution. They had the live show and they had the what did they have? They had the live show and they had something else. They had the live show and the I think they had the television deal. Fox did at the time, and then they flipped it all around. So Fox was in a negotiation, and they kept being put in a standstill. They kept being put in a standstill with the UFC. The UFC has dominant black male athletes. They just don't get promoted. The best fighter in UFC is black. Who knows who's the number one fighter in the UFC? Who's the number one fighter in the UFC? I'm gonna see if you guys know. Oh my God, you guys have no idea. You guys are all blind. I've seen Woodley 5 times. I've seen Khabib. Not one have ever said the number one fighter in the entire MMA world in UFC. Well, yeah, you call him Mighty Mouse. Demetrius Johnson is the best fighter in any sport of MMA, period. How do you not know that and you guys watch UFC? Because it's not promoted right. He's done things I have never seen done in the UFC. Even his very last fight. Now, a fight is a fight. Nobody matter who weight it is. Do you watch Conor McGregor because of his weight? Or you just can't wait to see the fight? Okay. That I can buy. But anyway, let me get back to telling the people what just happened. Now, Fox Sports teamed up with UFC TV rights bid. Now, the television right bid ended because they had a $120 million deal. ESPN has paid $150 million. This is back in April. They were paid, but Fox's bid was like a take it and leave it. Now, ESPN had won the rights to for the pay-per-view streaming rights, so that UFC will be streamed on their package, where you can pay $4.99 a month and be able to get UFC content now. If you have that ESPN app. Now they wrapped up a 5-year package for $150 million there. Then they just did another $150 million deal for the television distribution rights. They got 15 fights per year that they've guaranteed the UFC that ESPN would do, plus their streaming service, their ESPN Plus streaming service. There's 15 more fights they're going to have split between ESPN's linear and digital outlets. So ESPN now will pay $300 million. So for 5 years, they're going to get $150 million a year off that alone, plus $150 million a year off of the television rights. Now, ESPN will pay $300 million annually for linear and digital UFC rights for 30 cards per year. Now, I'm going to miss watching all those UFC fights on Fox. But now let's get to the grit. I don't like Dana White. The fighters I don't have a problem with, except for Conor McGregor. But anybody else, I just don't like Dana White and his practices. He's becoming elitist. He let the power go to his head. And then you know how that is. But anyway, the UFC will now own all of the UFC territory and inventory that is broadcasting, in-house pay-per-view or UFC's Fight Pass or whatever. ESPN will replace Fox Sports as the UFC's linear television partner. Now, ESPN and Fox was going to partner to do a joint bid for UFC rights, but that fell apart. No doubt making it easier for Fox to part ways with UFC was its pending deal with the WWE. The WWE and Fox have agreed to a deal that will put the weekly WWE SmackDown on Fox. That's right. Friday night, starting in October of next year. Fox will pay $205 million annually for the WWE, exceeding what the company was willing to pay for the UFC, $175 million per year. Fox had been the home for the UFC since 2011. Prior to that point, Spike TV was the outlet for them at the time. So they went from Spike TV to Fox to now they on ESPN. But WWE is worth more than the UFC. So people would rather see fake fighting than real fighting. So what is that telling you? I would assume Fox Sports. So now the WWE gets SmackDown for $205 million on Fox. Raw is still going to remain on USA Television for now. But USA Television is not going to be able to keep Raw very soon. I can't believe he got $200 million just for that. Would you have given up $200-some million for SmackDown? SmackDown was the premier show. But it's going to make it real hard to do those SmackDown versus Raws. So let me see. Are you more of a UFC fan or WWE? Let me see. I'm in prison. So even here, people like fake fighting more than real fighting. Now, let me explain to you, because we're doing this live, I will explain it to you guys right here live why everything is going down the way it is. Here it goes. This is why things are happening the way they are and transpiring the way they are in this business. WWE makes more money than the UFC, and I'm going to tell you why. Because they sell you a bill of goods that everybody likes the UFC. It's not true. Not true. Where the UFC lacks, the rest of the world don't. UFC has a problem with children. Okay? You see, the WWE don't have a problem selling to children because the children from ages 4 all the way through ages 62, the WWE numbers are up like this. UFC from ages 5 to like 10, they don't even exist. So they miss out all that money. The UFC age is from 16 on. Teenagers from 16, those guys take over. Then they die out when it comes to those who are over 30. Their numbers drop. So what it's saying is that people more in their adolescence, that's their from 20-year-old to 30-year-old, their numbers are very high. And starting from 16 years of age. The UFC goes all the way down to 3. 3-year-old children go to see wrestling. Now, here's part 2 of where they make their money and how they're bigger than the UFC monumentally. Marketing, merchandising. Their marketing merchandising is one of the best in the world. Best in the world. because they sell things year round. They don't care if this fighter is hot, this fighter is not hot. They're still selling old Roddy Piper t-shirts. They're still selling Hulk Hogan t-shirts. They're still selling all of the wrestlers. Stone Cold Steve Austin has not wrestled in I don't know how long. They still sell his merchandise. They still sell his toys. They sell Macho Man. He's been dead for like 5-6 years. They still selling it. Ultimate Warrior died. They selling Ultimate Warrior stuff right now off the shelf more than they did when he was wrestling. Merchandising. And that's how they make their money. So that's why they're going to continuously get that revenue coming through the door. The merchandising is bigger than the actual events. Mm-hmm. Fox has told the UFC, look, you can either stay or go. They wanted to go. Goodbye. Nobody gonna waste time with the UFC when they got the WWE in play. You want to go to ESPN and screw it up and have Stephen A. Smith over there talking about the UFC? Oh my God! Yeah, I Conor McGregor. Yeah, he's a bad boy. Yeah, and then Conor McGregor came in there and then he checked him with the hook. Now, what was going through your mind, Tyron Woodley, when you see that Conor McGregor show up? Tyron Woodley told me he ain't afraid of McGregor. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Now I've spoken to Tyrone Woodley before. Yeah, we was on a bus, so yeah, I know him. Know his grandmother, his sister went to Stevenson High School. Yeah, I trust me, I know Tyrone Woodley. Ain't nothing you can tell me about it. Now, oh my goodness, that would be a very funny situation. But now you will see Undisputed stop sucking the UFC's. You know what? Skip Bayless has stopped talking about the UFC now. Watch how quickly they stop talking about UFC on Undisputed now. That probably was Stephen A. brother, Calvin, for paid in full. Yo, that's your man. He's a real funny guy. But your guy, yeah, I don't need him. He's in my way. Yo, man, you hot. You just came home. They watching you. All you got to do is sit back and get money. That's it. You ain't got to do nothing else. How hard could that be to just sit back and get money? and then saying I'm gonna walk. Like, where does that even come in at? It's crazy, man. I went to the kitchen because I was supposed to get something out of there. And I went in there and I realized it's not in there. So I'm gonna have to leave here. So that's why I came back and sat down. So after the video, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna address the situation. Is that good for you? All right. Mr. Want to know what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. So, do you think this is a better deal for the UFC or a worse deal for the UFC? You know what I say? I say, well, we'll have to wait and see. Because Fox was actually kicking ESPN's butt when they were showing the UFC late at night. And they show all the greatest fights and all the highlights. Those were great. When they were running those episodes, they were killing them. But now we get to see WWE matches. We're gonna see replays of SmackDown all night. Their promotion is not African Americans. Their promotion is mostly the best fighters that they have are African American or Hispanic, but they make their money by having a white guy in the mix. You know, you got to have a white guy that's in the mix so that you can lure in those white dollars. You play that heavy metal music. Let the ball, let the ball, let the ball, let the ball. So every biker gang in the world gonna show up. They got a biker coat on. Kick his ass, Johnson. And that's how they make their money. You know, Conor McGregor, I don't even know if he's 100% Irish. They be like, why they gotta call him Irish Conor McGregor? Irish, it just means you're white. Just get in the ring. That's how boxing was. That's how every sport was. Like I told people apologize, white people apologize to me for rooting for Conor McGregor. And I'm sorry, but I like Conor. I'd be like, okay, I don't care if you like Conor McGregor. You can like Conor McGregor till your head fall off. Like they found like they gotta apologize to me for rooting for Conor. I'd be like, look, it's like you voted for Trump. Go ahead. You like Trump. Go right ahead. They be like, look, I know he's an a-hole, man. I hate him. He is an a-hole sometimes, but I like Conor, man. I like the way he fights. Fine. Like Conor McGregor. I don't That's on you. They like Trump. Hey, you want to like Trump? You voted for him. Just remember, you did this. He's your president. So all the stuff he doing, I look at you like, that's your guy. That's your man. That's your man. Are you kidding? Are you actually finna sit here and tell me about that? Are you even aware of what has transpired with them? The Barack Obama movie flop. You have no idea, right? Barack and Michelle Obama has signed a multi-million dollar deal with Netflix. The deal is so massive, I can't even give you a dollar amount. Multi-million dollar deal with Netflix. And you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna bring television shows, programming. They're gonna do their own thing. So is Tiffany Haddish. She has a multi-million. Well, hers is not multi-million dollar deal, but it's a good deal. But it ain't like Obama and Michelle. No, they're getting ready to make the most money of any ex-president to ever walk out of the White House, right next to the Clintons. And they did it being them. They didn't steal any money. There was no we stealing from the funds to do this. Nothing. They can't put nothing on Obama's. Black folks, they be like, look, we know we ain't touching nothing. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pay for it out my wallet because I don't want no controversy coming back saying I did this on tax. They had an accountant to watch the other accountant. They are good. So now that their deal is in place, that's right, cut the check. Now that their deal is in place, you're gonna see other films that they're gonna bring out from all these other directors in the world. There was some people here in Chicago who was talking about better life, better eating. That's gonna be Michelle's thing, and Oprah has found her way to try to finagle her way to get involved, and Barack Obama's gonna have a couple of speeches on there and putting people to sleep with all this talking. But they're gonna be there. You're gonna see luncheons, things you never seen before, behind the scenes stuff with Barack Obama doing interviews out of the country, other reports. They have different type of like series that's gonna take place that's educational to blacks. So they're gonna be spearheading the better African American content because most people have complained that Netflix lacks in that department, which I thought they've done a pretty balanced job, but that's just me. Yep. I'm sitting here. Well, Fox and ESPN was gonna battle all the time anyway. Cause when they came out, when Jamie Horowitz was doing his thing, they flipped the script and they came and got the man. Everybody's like, well, who's the man? Who's this man they came and got? I'm like, the only man they could get. Jamie Horowitz was the man at ESPN. They brought all the guys from ESPN over to Fox to build up Fox Sports, to challenge ESPN's main sporting network, Sports Center. Then Jamie Horowitz gets fired for all his sexual misconduct on the show. And that got swept just in quietly through the media. But they have been going at ESPN very aggressively. Well, this puts boxing right back in the forefront of it has an opportunity to work with Fox, or if Fox want to invest any money, but they're not going to invest any money like the UFC. The UFC is a company. Boxing is not a company. Boxing is a sport, and the PBC was the closest thing to a business deal that you were going to see done. They did one with Top Rank with ESPN. That's basically their boxing angle. They want to do business with companies. Boxing is a vast sport with many different companies. MMA is dominated mostly by one company, which is UFC. So they have all the fighters. They have everything. It's a John Doe business, and they really took over. Mayweather Promotions have a deal with Showtime. So they got boxing on Showtime now, and you will see some PBC fights if they do a CBS deal, or the CBS want to put it on their main, network, or they move it back on Showtime. They're doing great numbers on Showtime. What is the good Trump has done? Please inform everybody, because I don't know. Black unemployment down, Hispanics down, women down. Yeah, we gotta lift people up instead of putting them down. Black unemployment down. How? Where do you see that at? Let me tell you how that number is manipulated. Okay? Because you don't seem to understand. This is what happens when you read or regurgitate what they tell you without actually researching. Do you know what unemployment really is? Those are black people who have had jobs and have lost jobs, and they went and got jobs again. That's increasing the unemployment rate. Now, what they've done is they've created temporary jobs temporarily for a period of time that may lead to full time employment. So they've opened it up to the minorities, and it pays very minimal, to like maybe some jobs are $11 an hour. And this is opened up for a 6 period of time. That way, that fixes that number. But there's a lot of black people who have never gotten a job. They don't count to the unemployment rate because they've never been employed before. Now, if you add those numbers up, it's a very dangerous, staggering number. You've seen numbers and rates of 70% unemployment, 80%. Louisiana has the highest unemployment percentage in the United States of America for African Americans, if you count those who have never had a job. It's in the high 80% of African Americans. So definitely, you need to understand that. Now, Detroit, same way. Minnesota, a lot. So you need to understand these factors before you just regurgitate what they say, because that's exactly what they want you to do. Pay attention to those numbers. Have you noticed right when an election happens, that's when Jobs are out there, gas is down. They want your vote. I didn't see Trump at the border. What is you talking about? He's like he's securing the border like no one said he would. Like he's out there. You got that side, I got this side. If anybody come through, make sure you check them. Hey, what are you doing? No, he's not out there securing no border. He wants to get the money. He wants to finagle some money from the government for them, the taxpayers, to pay for this wall, the billions and all that. He wants that so he could finance these Republicans that helped him get in the office. They're super PACs. No. What did he give up, Giovanni? Now, what if the deal, Giovanni, was that Trump made with North Korea and South Korea to come down to have an agreement that both of them get to take you in the back and pump you in the butt for 60 days? You right along with that involvement, right? Yeah, way to go. We're gonna be like, okay, now listen. Um, there's a pillow. Just bite the pillow. Shut. Just bite the pillow, Giovanni. Don't sit. No words. Just bite the pillow. Get it done for America. For America. Oh man, that's it. For America. The mighty dollar. Gotta do it, Giovanni. You care about North Korea and South Korea coming together, right? How does that make America great again? I have no idea. The thing is, what is Trump giving up? Because he's a businessman. This is why you don't let a businessman in there. Businessman, he in there to do business. Half his business is over there in North Korea and South Korea. He trying to get all his workers, all the people he didn't make money over there. Of course they gonna get along. He's like, we made your shirts, your ties, everything. He ain't made nothing here in the United States. They'd be like, Donald Trump, didn't you have a company that made shirts and tees and ties and everything? Why was it made in China? How you gonna make America great again? Make America great again by buying overseas. Y'all fall for a businessman, crook politician. I don't see. I was shocked people were voting for him. So when he won, I was like, he won. My mom was like, they just didn't want a woman in there. I'm like, I was feeling bad because I'm like, we screwed any which way it go. Hillary is terrible, but it looked like she wasn't gonna survive long. So, but we would have went right into a war with her. You know, like y'all don't like Haley because she a woman. No, I hate her because she's a murderer. She's a psychotic, twisted woman. I don't want her in the White House. They gave you a do. It was like, hey, you gotta pick the lesser of two evils. I mean, that's like they were promoting it. Hey, you gotta vote for the lesser of two evils. We ain't as bad as her. It's like y'all both crooked. Get the hell out of here. But anyway, I took up a lot of your time. I gotta roll. Peace in the Middle East.